In this video, I'm going to share with you my perspective, my education, the place that I'm at, and my own financial awareness and financial future. And I'm going to guide you towards something that for me, personally, was the missing piece. And as you can see on the screen here, I'm going to show you how to turn $10 in Forex profits into $6.5 million easily on full autopilot. But first, I want to give you some disclaimer here. I am not a financial advisor. You may be smarter than me about all of this stuff, but you also may be the kind of person that lives in the negative and believes conspiracy theories. I'm not going to deal with those type of people. I'm giving you verifiable information that works for me. I don't know if it'll work for you. I don't know if at whatever intelligence level you're at, whatever experience level you're at, I don't know if you can handle what I'm about to show you. However, I'm saying that as a disclaimer. You do what you want with this. What I'm showing you is the place that I've arrived to, which for me, and you really can't convince me otherwise, is the missing piece. So let's dig into this. In this video, here is exactly what we will cover. The very first thing is why Forex income is not the answer and what is even better. I have so many people come to me and say, okay, Terry, you have a Forex trading system. I understand it's run on autopilot. I understand that you have a no-loss system. How much money can I make? Can I retire on this? More importantly, can I basically replace my income right now with Forex trading? So many people try to do that. And, you know, you're not wrong in trying to do that. That was my first foray. I was like, wow, my first foray into Forex. How do I replace my income with Forex? I'm going to tell you that there's something much better than that. In fact, I don't believe you should. And follow along with me here. I'm going to finish that sentence. But I don't believe that you should look at Forex or try to trade any sort of Forex system. Not even mine, which I believe is the best available. You should not try to create an income from it. People do. People can do it. But typically when people say they want income, they want some outrageous number. They want to take a $10,000 account and they're looking to double it every month. But I'm going to tell you and show you here why Forex is not the answer to income and that there is something a lot better. Next, I'm going to show you exactly how to leverage Forex profits into unimaginable wealth. It's as simple as earning some simple Forex profits, which we know we can do. We have a great system. But turning those profits into unimaginable wealth. That's what this entire video is about. Next, why you won't care if the entire financial system that you're used to right now collapses right in front of you. You won't care. And there's a lot of aha moments, I believe, in this video. And really, I'll just say it from a disclaimer perspective again. These are aha moments for me. Maybe you already know this. Maybe in the end, this is something you've known all along. But what I believe I've done for myself is bring all of these tiny little concepts together into one big, huge aha moment. So I'm going to show you why you just don't care if the current US dollar falls apart and all the banks shut down, a complete collapse. You're not going to care. Next, we're going to talk about how to secure your financial future from government control. Let me talk about this a little bit here. Again, disclaimer. I'm an idiot. I'm a gambler. Don't listen to anything I have to say. However, if there's some educational concept that you can take away from this, you know, we're not going to talk about the evil government, right? But they potentially are controlling everything you do. Taxes. I mean, if you're in the United States, I don't know what it's like really in any other countries. But, you know, even at that point, the U.S. government has their hand in every country, every financial system. And I'm just going to show you how to legally simply and naturally just move away from government control. Because government control means a bunch of people that would gladly like to steal all of your money, shut your bank accounts down, tax you upon your taxes, and then charge you some more taxes on top of your taxes. I'm just going to show you how to step away from that in a very subtle, legal way. And none of what I tell you is legal advice. None of what I tell you is financial advice. But I'm going to show you some concepts. I urge you to use this video that I'm giving you right now as a linear learning process. The first step is I don't know what I don't know. And now in this video, I'm going to show you what you don't know. Now I know what I don't know. Now I know what I don't know. And that's what this video is about. I'm going to show you how to invest anonymously. No one needs to know your personal finances. Right now, if you're out investing with the US dollar or your local currency, you'll find that that's on everyone's radar. And the fact is, it doesn't have to be. And nothing I'm going to tell you is illegal. Governments don't necessarily like it because they can't control it. And they don't control it, and they're trying to control it. But this is, and I'll just kind of jump ahead a little bit, this is the concept of peer-to-peer financial transactions. And if you know anything about where I'm headed here, that will kind of key you into what we're going to talk about a little bit further. So the next thing, how to get filthy rich even if your Forex account only makes $10 per week. This is the game changer. So basically I'm saying, in effect, how to stop caring how much your Forex account earns ever again. That gets you out of that, how do I earn an income? I will tell you this. If you, and this is my opinion, again, I'm going to hack, I'm an idiot, don't listen to a thing I say. But if you leverage your Forex profits as an income, for every $100 that you spend from Forex profits, you're losing tens of thousands of dollars in future wealth because you're blowing $100 right now. We'll get deeper into this. The next thing is I'm going to show you how to turn conservative returns, conservative Forex returns, into millions in a short period of time. So you're starting to see a little bit of an idea here that it's not about Forex per se. However, Forex and trading Forex and earning profits in Forex gives us something. It offers us something we can't get anywhere else without a lot more investment, funds, infrastructure. Trading Forex takes all of that, the need for infrastructure and a lot of funds, and it just takes that away. So the next thing, I was worried about retirement. I type in a word here, I'm being tongue-in-cheek. Forget about it. The info I'm going to give you changes everything. It's a 100% game changer. It is for me. Again, if you're a naysayer, if you're negative, if you're worried about where your next dollar's coming from, if you're living in your mom's basement, called her lower suite, then, these kind of things you can't quite think in this manner. However, most of us and most of the people that follow me are thinking about, what am I going to do in my retirement? Honestly, I squandered all of the millions of dollars that I've earned in my early years in out living life and having fun. And at some point, certainly I've been doing this for a while now, at least 10, 15 years, where I've been focused on retirement and what am I going to do? What's that going to look like? What do I need? Right? And again, this information I'm going to give you in this video, if you're anyone like me, everybody has a different life, different path. But if you're anyone like me, it is going to be a 100% game changer. And then the final piece, I'm going to show you how to automate this hands-free, and it's zero extra cost, zero work on your part, zero. This is not a sales video. I'm giving you an education, and I'm taking you from I don't know what I don't know to now I know what I don't know. You can go out, research this stuff, go deeper. There's no way I could spend enough time in this video to educate you about every teeny tiny little piece, but this will open the conversation, and I am going to make you an offer at the end, but it's the final piece, and it doesn't cost anything. Zero cost, zero work, hands free. So it's a pretty cool. Stick around and see that at least. I'm not kidding you. It's absolutely free. So let's dig into this. First, let's talk about how to lose all of your money in Forex. And the reason I say this is because none of this needs to be done if you know the final piece, if you know the information I'm giving you here. So the very first thing is, the way to lose all of your money in Forex is trade on your own with extreme emotions. That's pretty much 99% of the people I know come into Forex. It's this huge emotional thing. Forget the fact that all of the education out there on YouTube is lied to you. They get you using indicators and entry strategies and all that stuff. I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but it's all bullshit. Enter the trade and manage it. You'll hear me say that a lot. That's what my algorithm does. And moving forward, that's the flavor of what I show. Just enter the trade. I'll show you how to manage it. Which one? Buy or sell? Doesn't matter. Grab one. Enter the trade. Right? So the next way to lose all your money in Forex is go ahead and overbid, overtrade, go for max income. I leaned on that's really the first bullet point of when we got started here was I'm going to show you how it's not about Forex as income. And everyone that comes to me wants their Forex account to create income. So did I. And you know what? That's how I lost a lot of my initial accounts. As I was like, I need this to make $50 a day or $250 a day or $1,000 a day. The moment you get away from that, and I'm going to show you how to easily get away from that, it becomes comfortable. Zero emotions. You understand exactly what's going on. Another way, how to lose all your money? Chase the market. Chase the price. Oh, man, I entered in the wrong direction. Enter another. Right? And not understanding how to do the mathematics and how to hedge and, how to do dollar cost averaging and all this other stuff. So the final part here is chase your losses. Doesn't everybody do that? Well, just did a bunch of stupid stuff and had some losses, so now I'm going to overbid and overtrade again so I can cover my losses. All of that stuff is easily let go by what I'm going to show you. As soon as you get out of the income concept, I need my Forex account to replace my income. As soon as you get out of that, it's very easy. And in fact, it's probably the number one reason people blow accounts. So now I don't want to, I kind of do this more to be cheeky than anything, but the fact that I'm showing a picture of Warren Buffett, normally when I would see a video and someone says, well, Warren Buffett, I'm like, yeah, they're full of shit because you don't know what Warren's doing. However, if you've read his book, there are some takeaways that are very specific, and I always wondered how to implement them, and I'm going to show you them today. So it's about becoming a smart investor. It's these few items: investment over time. We all know that, right? Boy, don't I wish I would have put $2,000 in Apple when they launched, and now I'd have tens of millions of dollars. But I have to say this because I'm going to show you how to greatly reduce that time. But the concept of smart investing is investment over time. Another one is investing in the highest rate of return available. I know these things are very, very simple. You're like, well, duh, of course. Well, maybe, of course. Most people don't understand this. I didn't until I dug deep into it. And although I'm saying this is still surface stuff, you're going to see exactly how to implement this. The next thing, obviously, the higher the rate of return, the less time you need. So if what we're looking at is the heart of investing, the biggest part of this is the higher rate of return, the less time you need. It's as simple as that. So let's dig into something here. What is the best investment? What is the best investment? Now, this goes back to conspiracy theories, and some people say this and some people say that. Listen, I don't give a crap what you think about it. These are factual numbers. I went out and researched this for a while. What you're looking at here, and we can go look at this website, we will a little bit later in the video, but there's a website that publishes this. So you tell me. I'm not going to sit here and read you a bunch of numbers, but if you're investing in Bitcoin or gold or the S&P 500, those are your expected rate of returns. Now, me personally, I want the highest rate of return. We just looked at that when I was talking about Warren Buffett. The numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie. I'm not saying, and I think you know where I'm going here, Bitcoin is obviously the most outrageous return on investment. You don't like it? You're scared of it? You're welcome to do gold. You don't like gold? You're scared of it? You're welcome to do the S&P 500. Whatever you choose is the path. I will tell you this. When you start looking at returns on investment of Bitcoin, the 14-year return on investment, 223%. That's insane. Now, I'm going to tell you something. The average, and you can see it, I'm not going to read the text on the screen to you. The average Bitcoin return is 155% per year. That's the average. Again, you could trade gold. You could buy gold. I shouldn't say trade gold. You could buy gold. We're trading Forex. But you can buy gold. You can buy S&P 500. You can invest in the S&P 500. You do what you want. Me, personally, I'm going with Bitcoin. Because here, when you start to see the compounding growth of Bitcoin, and again, stick with me here. We're just looking at this as an investment. I don't have any Bitcoin investment to sell you, none of that stuff, right? I have nothing to sell you. I'm giving you some information. So I personally was already buying Bitcoin, and I might be getting a little ahead of myself here. I was already buying Bitcoin every week. But I'm going to show you how you don't have to do that. And in fact, it's not a good idea to do that. Again, we'll come back and look at this chart. But if you want to grow the fastest over time, you pick the highest return on investment. We'll plug in some of these other percentages into a calculator that I'm going to show you and make available to you. That's a game changer. And you're going to see how you can use that calculator, and you will use it moving forward to track your wealth. Let's move on here. I don't want to lean too much on this. We'll come back to this. Here's the deal. So the question is, and I had to ask this to myself, and it's so funny how it was in front of me the whole time. But watch this. So I want to know how to amass Bitcoin. And I say that a lot, and I have people say, amass? I've never heard of that. What are you talking about? So I'm just going to put up on the screen. Some people know it, some people don't. It's the concept to collect for oneself or accumulate. In this example, amass a great fortune. How to amass Bitcoin. How to accumulate Bitcoin. The focus is accumulate. So I actually said this to myself. I said, how can I do this? How can I amass Bitcoin? Because, again, I was buying it. Now, I went out and I said, and you guys will see me talk about some of this, people that were in the group. I was like, I'm going to go buy a Bitcoin mining machine. It's a computer. This particular one we're looking at, I'm paraphrasing, but I think it was about a $40,000 to $45,000 computer. And I was like, I'm going to buy this thing and essentially be part of the Bitcoin cryptocurrency blockchain. And for processing transactions with this computer, I would earn a small amount of Bitcoin each transaction. And the one thing that I heard is that if you get lucky enough to be able to, just by the luck of the draw, your Bitcoin mining computer processes an entire block of cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, you could make hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I started looking into this. So there's an investment. I looked at it. I was in there somewhere in the $40,000 to $100,000 range. By the time I literally was going to buy an air-conditioned room and a shed and computers. Go to YouTube. All kinds of people are doing this. And I was like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. And all of a sudden I realized, wait, I don't have to do that at all. Because what was my point here? I want to amass or accumulate Bitcoin off the radar. Let's dig deeper into that. So, before we get into the specifics, another extremely sound investment strategy, please go look this up, please understand this. And in fact, my particular Forex system actually applies this to the algorithm and the trading itself. But dollar cost averaging is the concept of purchasing an investment in which the buyer spreads out their purchases weekly, okay, let's say, so that the total price paid is less affected by market timing. So, and again, I'm no financial advisor, but I was like, do I want to buy $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, or do I want to buy a little bit each week? Because the price is all over the place. Price is all over the place. So I started buying Bitcoin every week, and I started to realize, and here's U.S. government concept. When you get up over about $20,000 worth of buying Bitcoin, you're now on their radar because you're buying it through exchanges that do KYC, or it's called know your customer. So they need to know your customer. They need to know who you are, right? But, and again, I digress. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Dollar cost averaging is the absolute best way for any investment. Go read Buffett's book. You buy a little bit of it each week, each month, each quarter, whatever the case is. But this is the smartest thing you can do. So let's move on here. Let's get into the heart of this. The concept, and I've brought this up, buying Bitcoin versus receiving it anonymously. What? This was the game changer for me, because if you're buying Bitcoin, they are tracking you. You are being tracked. Go to Coinbase, go to Binance. I don't know, some of these probably not even in business anymore, but go to Kraken, go to anywhere where you're going to buy some Bitcoin. Not all the places. You can do, I think they shut one website down where you could actually buy it from a local. You meet up at Starbucks, you do the transaction, relatively anonymous, right? But buying Bitcoin puts you on the radar. Now, Bitcoin, I'm not going to educate you about it, but it's decentralized finance. It's a bunch of millions of computers all over the world that handle the transactions, that confirm the transactions, and this money is held, this value is held on the blockchain. So if I'm holding some money, and I'm getting ahead of myself again here, but if I'm holding some money in my cryptocurrency wallet and I lose my wallet, it's not actually in the wallet. The wallet's a representation of what is on the blockchain. So I'd go buy another Bitcoin wallet, as long as I have my password and my seed phrases. We'll talk about that. It can access the blockchain, and it's just blocks of transactions all chained together. That's all it is. And I can go pull out and basically pull back my representation of wealth into my wallet. So someone can steal your wallet, and as long as they don't have the password or the seed phrases, they can't take any of your money. But let's talk about receiving this anonymously. Here's the secret. All right, it's not a secret at all. Here's the piece of the puzzle. Listen to me carefully. I'll have to say this a lot, but I'm going to say it simply. When you trade Forex, I get that brokers are different. You can maybe I should put it this way. You can trade Forex. And I have a really nice algorithm to do that with, right? You can trade Forex and request a withdrawal of your profits from certain types of brokers, and they simply say, great, give us a Bitcoin address. And when they send you your withdrawal, you are receiving that anonymously, my friend. Not from every broker, not in every way, but it certainly is possible. I can do a withdrawal from my broker right now, and when they send me Bitcoin as my withdrawal, I'm receiving it anonymously. Let that sink in. Now, if we trade Forex, and I'm going to add this concept in there, if we trade Forex and we trade it conservatively, when we do a withdrawal, and let's say we withdraw $10 a week in profits, we do so anonymously and we amass Bitcoin. We are anonymously amassing Bitcoin. We're not on anybody's radar. I'm not trying to do anything illegal here, but I also don't have to declare that I'm amassing Bitcoin. Your jurisdiction might be different. I know there's people listening to this video from all over the world, but I'm giving you a concept. It may or may not apply to you. But this is the big secret. My Forex trading account is not an income generator, although I wanted it to be at some point. What it is a weekly, I trade it conservatively. And I'm going to show you why I trade it conservatively, because I don't need to make an income from it, and neither do you. If you're going to stick with me here, and I'll show you the brass tacks of it all. We'll get right down to the mathematics. It'll blow your freaking mind. It'll blow your mind. So I have to say this again. Trade Forex, do a Bitcoin withdrawal. There's some things I'm not saying out loud, right? There's some, and I, not because I'm hiding it. It goes without saying. You're trading it at a broker who doesn't KYC, who doesn't need to know your name, address, social security number. They don't need to know your income. So are there risks involved with that? There were risks when you rolled out of bed this morning, my friend. There is a risk when you put your socks on every day. Pull a muscle. Now you're laid up, can't work for 2 weeks, right? There's risk in everything. So is there risk in trading with a offshore foreign broker? Sure. Are there risks in holding your money in a U.S. bank account? Absolutely. So it's not about risk or no risk. It's about, and this is me. This is my personality. This is my level of intelligence and understanding. I'm like, I need to invest in the highest investment, which is Bitcoin. I need to amass it anonymously. I can do that through Forex trading with an offshore broker. Okay? That means I don't have to go to an exchange to buy my Bitcoin. I know I'm leaning on this because I'm not sure when this is going to come out, and I didn't want to brush over it when I say come out in the video. So let's move on. Let me take you to the browser, and I'm going to show you a reference that you can go look at yourself. So here we are. The web address is casebitcoin.com/charts. It's kind of like the case for Bitcoin, right? So it's casebitcoin.com/charts. And I just jump into this to show you that what I understand to be the best thing to look at is this chart over on the right here, the Bitcoin Traditional Assets CAGR, Combined Annual Growth Rate. Now what's interesting is if you go do some math and you really dig into this, the average Bitcoin return is 155% a year. It goes up, it goes down. You'll notice that there are no years in Bitcoin return, combined annual growth rate, that are lower than gold or the S&P 500. And they're all risky. They're all risky. But when you take a return like the S&P 500 of 24% in a year, and you compare that to the growth of what it would be like if you got a 90% growth, like it's not even close. And I'm going to show you this with a calculator that I had designed by an Excel expert, and we converted it over to a Google spreadsheet, and I'm going to share it with you, and it's something that you can have and use. But I love playing with it, and the numbers will blow your mind. Now, I worked with a mathematician to kind of figure out some things about CAGR before I really even understood what it was. And right now, on any given day, but right now, the combined annual growth rate right now is 192% for the year. Even at its worst, when it was, the 3-year worst, 22%. Gold was 10%, S&P 500 was 9%. Bitcoin outpaces everything all the time. It's as simple as that. And again, if you're that conspiracy theorist that says, oh my God, somebody said Bitcoin's going to nothing. Oh my God, somebody said it's going to 10 million. I don't care. This, especially if you're kind of over 50 like me, we don't have a lot of time. So we need the highest rate of return on our money. Now, what's cool about Forex is, listen to me real quickly here. Your Forex deposit, if you trade it conservative, let's say you put $10,000 into an account, and that thing makes $100 a week. Okay? You still got your $10,000. You still got your $10,000. If you go put that $100 a week in Bitcoin, in fact, I'm saying the words wrong. You're not putting it in anything. If you do a withdrawal from your proper broker Forex account and they send you Bitcoin, it came to you anonymously. You're just amassing it anonymously. I don't want to lean too much on this, but I wanted you to at least see where I got this reference from. Now, let me show you a Bitcoin investment calculator that I had created that takes into effect that CAGR, that combined annual growth rate. And at the beginning of the video, I said, and you can see the numbers here, $10 lump sum investment, $10 weekly, over 10 years, creates a $6.5 million return on investment, and the 155% right there, annual growth rate, that's Bitcoin. Now, let's mess around with some of these numbers. $10 a week. I'm going to say it again. $10 a week is all you need to have $6.5 million. Again, this is mathematics. I'm not saying you'll do it consistently. I'm not saying you'll do this right. I'm not saying you even know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying we'll always get 155% return a year. It will go up. It will go down. But it outpaces everything. And this is what I'm banking my future on. I'm banking my future on this. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Now, you ready? You ready to get crazy? Let's get crazy. Let's say let's say you've already got $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. Okay, cool. That's not a lot. Whatever. It doesn't matter how much you got. But it helps understand the long-term longevity investment here. Now, let's say you put away $100 a week. Just type 100 in the weekly investment, okay? And the number is going to be insane, right? It's $75 million in 10 years. Let's back it out. Let's just do 5 years, okay? $695,000. That's only on a $27,000 investment over 5 years of putting 100 a week away. So here's where it gets crazy. So you have $1,000, you put 100 in a week. Let's back out and make this even simpler, because people are like, well, I don't have $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. Let's say you got $100 worth of Bitcoin. You start out with 100 and you put 100 in it a week. At 5 years, you're just about $600,000. But let's go to 6 years. It goes from, let's look at that again. It goes from 598,844. And year 6, because of the annual growth rate, because of the power of compounding and dollar cost averaging, the moment you go to 6 years, it goes from $598,000 to $1.5 million. 1 year. 1 year. This, if you don't understand the power of this, dollar cost averaging, which is buying the investment weekly, you really don't even need to buy that much. You really don't. So it's not as much about your Forex balance as it is being conservative with it. Obviously, the higher your balance is, the more conservative you can be. Like, what kind of balance would it take to make $100 a week in Forex? I'm not going to quote that. The market's different all the time. But it's not that big. It's not that big. It's not that unrealistic. And again, you're not You're not giving away. You're not buying Bitcoin. You're not giving away that broker balance. So let's get crazy here. Let's go to 10 years. So it goes so at 6 years, 1.5 million. At 10 years, it goes to 65 million. $100 a week of Bitcoin for 10 years goes to 65 million. And again, this is math. I'm not making any guarantees, but this is what it has done historically up to this point. And an average is an average is an average. You get a better average the longer you're in it. You get a better, if you buy Bitcoin today and it tanks tomorrow, you'd be like, I lost all my money. No, you didn't. Because it could just as well go to 10 million 3 weeks from now. So it's a long-term play. It's a long-term play, but it doesn't have to be that long. And we're looking at 5, 6, 7 years. So here's something that I looked at, and we'll go look at some outrageous numbers. Let's just stick with a $100 lump sum investment, but let's say I'm putting $200 worth of Bitcoin away a week for 10 years, $129 million, $200 a week. What kind of Forex account balance would you need to create 200 a week? Not that much. Not that much. I'm not going to quote any numbers here because people are going to say, well, I don't have that. Listen, it's not that much. We could talk about that in another time, in another live discussion, in another video, whatever the case may be. So are you ready to get a little crazy here? Let's say there's someone who has $5,000 worth of Bitcoin already, just for the heck of it. And let's say they could do it for 15 years. That's $20 billion. Am I saying that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 zeros. Okay? The power of compounding is insane. It's a $161,000 investment that turns into $20 billion. I mean, what if you only did 50% of that? You'd probably be upset, right? If you only did maybe 10 billion. The numbers are outrageous. When you get up in the 20-year range, and really you have to, decide on your age. When you get up in the 20-year range, this is trillion. This is over 2 trillion. I don't even want to look at those numbers, right? But this is not inconceivable. This is in reach of everyone. Do I have 20 years yet? At 50 years old? I absolutely do. Do I want to wait 20? Listen, here's what's interesting. I can do this. I'm on track to do this. I'm not saying that you have to wait to get to the... you don't go from $0 to 2, trillion, right? It goes $0 to, 10,000 to 1 million, 100 million, 500 million, 12 million. Somewhere along the way, you can just cash out. Let me show you some simple numbers here. We'll go back to $100 lump sum investment and $100 a week for 7 years, $3.9 million. What if I could just do 150 a week? $5.8 million. My nut for me is I would be real comfortable, and this is just me, with about $5 million, right? That doesn't mean that I'm going to go spend the $5 million. That means even if I pulled out $851,000 from this, next year on year 8, it goes to $14 million. On year 9, it goes to $38 million. The power of compounding at these annual growth rates that Bitcoin provides is incredible. I'm not selling you a Bitcoin investment. I'm not. I'm literally telling you, here's probably what you should do and could do with your Forex account. You probably could, probably should. And the power of the fact that you don't have to go out and buy this $150 off of an exchange and reveal to, anyone that you have any of it. Now, I know there's going to come a question, and I'm going to get a lot of questions. I'm not going to deal with them all in this video. We'll deal with them in the live chat discussion in the group. But some people might say, well, great, Terry, I've got $38 million of Bitcoin. What the heck do I do with it? It's actually really easy. Do you need to cash out all 38 million? I hope not. But you can turn that into US dollars or any other currency you want in about 5 minutes with a lot of different apps. It all depends. Like, what's a good one to use if you're in the US? Cash App. It's just one of hundreds of different ways to do it. You can send Bitcoin to PayPal and cash it in. There are companies out there that give you a Visa card or a MasterCard or whatever the case may be. And you can transfer a little bit of Bitcoin over to that account. They'll turn it into cash. You just swipe your card. It's got Bitcoin on it, but you can use it to pay all kinds of things. There are bill pay companies that you can send crypto to, and then they'll pay your bills for you. So there's a lot of opportunities and options, and this video is not about me teaching those things, but it's easily achievable. Go to YouTube, start looking it up. Hey, I've got some Bitcoin. How do I cash in a US dollar? Yeah, if you're trying to cash in your $38 million in Bitcoin into $38 million in US dollars, you're going to pay some high fees, so on and so forth. But, if you're like wanting to pull out 50,000 or 100,000 or whatever, like it's not a big deal. If you're wanting to live off of, if in 9 years from now, if you think you can live off of $38 million, dude, you're set. And this thing is going to keep growing. It's going to keep growing. So let's go back. Let's say $100 investment, $10 a week for 20 years is 87. Is that a billion? Yeah, it is. Right? So here's my point. If all you're doing is amassing $10 a week, of course, it depends on how old you are. If you got 3 years left, right, of your life, you might want to amass it faster. But nonetheless, it's the amount, which is not an outrageous amount weekly, over time. 20 years is outrageous numbers. I'll be honest with you. I don't have a goal of trying to get to 87 billion. Like, how long does it take to get to a billion? I don't know. What does it take? Let's call it, is it 11 years? So that's 19 million. Let's go 14 years. 319 million. And at some point, you got enough, right? Let's see. 17 years gets you, yeah. So let's go back to 16 years. You see how fun this calculator is? So 2 billion at 16 years. I hope I've made my point here. I will give you guys that are watching the video access to this calculator. It's just I'll just share it. It's a Google spreadsheet, right? It's a Google sheet. And as you're going through this process, and if you come along with me in this journey, leverage my Forex system and start getting amassing weekly Bitcoin, let's look at, like, what would it be for $5 a week for 6 years? $102,000, but it's only a $1,600 investment. Like, some people might not say that's enough, right? Let's go to 10 years at $5 a week. 4.3 million. That's incredible numbers. And this is just a calculator. Do what you will with it. But what you will do is you'll use this if you're following my plan, and you'll be able to plug in what your lump sum investment is, what you've been averaging weekly, and it'll give you some incredible numbers. I think mine is, I think my sweet spot was $100 a week, 7 years. Yeah, somewhere around there. I think it was $200 a week for 6 years. Yeah, somewhere around there, right? $3 million. So all of this is conceivable. Now, let's move on and wrap this up. So what I'm calling this, and what I'm doing, what I've been doing, and frankly, I was doing it before I even looked at the power of what I'm saying this is all about, is I'm calling it the FX to BTC Protocol. doing a very conservative trading using my incredible algorithm, very conservative trading that amasses Bitcoin weekly anonymously. So let's say you got a $1,000 account and the $1,000 account makes $50 for the week. At the end of the week, you ask for your withdrawal. You get your withdrawal sent to you anonymously from your broker directly to your Bitcoin wallet, and you just amass it anonymously. You're not out there buying it on an exchange. You're not giving up your personal information to receive it. So remember, use the calculator. I was showing you $10 a week for 10 years is $6.5 million. What's $50 a week for 4.5 years, for 5 years, for 7 years, right? So it's unique to everybody, but I think the power of having that calculator is going to be pretty freaking awesome. But focus on this, the FX to BTC protocol. So I want to add this in there. I will spend extra time on it, but I want to touch on this because some people are like, well, I don't understand this Bitcoin thing at all. Here's how simple it is. You get a wallet. I'm giving you an example of an electronic wallet, an app called Exodus. It's one of hundreds and hundreds. I'm not saying this is the best. I'm not saying it's the worst. I like it. I like its functionality. But there's also what's called a hardware wallet, like is in this hand right here, the Trezor. I have the Trezor myself. And in any of this cryptocurrency, and I'm doing this for the absolute beginners that are like, I'm just so confused by this. This wallet holds your cryptocurrency, holds your Bitcoin. And at the bottom there is an address. That is an address for your wallet. So if that was your Bitcoin address, what is it, 30-some characters? I don't even know. We could count them. And then, of course, you have QR codes that work a lot of time. But the QR code, if you hold your phone up to it, depending on the technology, it will give you that Bitcoin address. Or it will interface right with your Exodus wallet or maybe even your Trezor. But the point is, it's as simple as this. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency itself, but Bitcoin, it has an address. And that's your address. Starts with a BC, in this case, ends with an S3. That's your address. You request a withdrawal, it comes there. If I were to send you some Bitcoin right now, I'd say, give me your address. I'd send it right to that address, and it comes right into your wallet. And you can see it. You can also see it grow. So it's the easiest technology in the world. Go out. I urge you, if you have no idea what this stuff is, go out and don't listen to the pundits or the crazy people are like, it's going here, it's going there. There's this guy that has a Bitcoin show every day on YouTube. One day, Bitcoin's going to 10 million. Next day, it's going to 500,000. Next day, it's going to 150,000. The point is, it's going up. It always has. The final piece of this is this. I am launching the FX to Bitcoin pool, the FX to BTC pool. It's going to allow you or anyone to amass Bitcoin anonymously. It's going to allow you to amass Bitcoin anonymously weekly. At the end of every week, your Bitcoin wallet anonymously receives some Bitcoin. If you want to go report that to the government, go ahead, my friend. You do what you do. Share how much you're making on the internet, that's fine. But if you'd like to be anonymous, like most people do, you'll simply open up your wallet. Transactions don't happen in 2 seconds, right? So if you get a deposit on a Saturday, you might see it show up on a Sunday or a Monday. But it grows every week. So let's get into the details. The FX to BTC pool. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to brush over it. We can go into detail if you want. But I've got the high-level important points here. Obviously, a pool is where people pool their money together. And let's go through some bullet points here, and then I'll back out and kind of flesh it all out as we're looking at it. So the very first thing, this is a long-term play. It's 5 to 10 years. You don't get into this to make $1 million in 3 weeks. I'm not saying you couldn't do that if Bitcoin goes through the roof. But let's assume it just continues the consistent, maybe not consistent up and down trajectory, but consistent yearly profits like it has done for the last 14 years. This is a long-term play. I just got to put it out there. I'm going to put a pool together. I already have the pool put together. I was already doing it myself and some other clients. But the minimum pool deposit at this point, just because I'm announcing this, you got to have at least $1,000 just to make it worth everyone's while. Eventually, I'm going to increase the pool. I don't want to say investment, right? The amount of money you would put into the pool, I'm going to increase it to $10,000 soon. That's not some sort of scarcity thing, but I'll let some people get involved. Like to get some testimonials, like everybody to see, the legitimacy of it and the power of it. Next, you're going to get a weekly Bitcoin payout. If you're in the pool, I'm going to transfer you Bitcoin every week. You simply provide your BTC wallet address, your Bitcoin wallet address, like I was showing you earlier. Now, if you're brand new to this stuff, I will provide some Bitcoin or crypto directions, some wallet training, some resources, what I'm using, what you could use, along with how to exchange Bitcoin for US dollars, because that's kind of the big thing. Great, Terry, I've got $1 million. What do I do with it? I'll show you. But you can also go figure that stuff out with YouTube, right? And again, let me flesh out a couple more bullet points and then we'll back out and kind of look at this from a high level. Next is, I'm going to say that if you're in the pool, I'm not going to let you withdraw your balance on demand. You need to be in the pool for at least 24 months. This is a long-term play. It's a long-term play. Put your money, and eventually, I'll be honest with you, I'm thinking about this a lot. I first wanted to say, you don't ever get to withdraw. We're going to do this forever, right? Because it is not about your Bitcoin balance that is traded with my Forex system. It's not about that at all. The millions and millions of dollars will outpace whatever balance you have in Forex trading. At some point, now I got to think about this deeper. It certainly would be longer than 24 months, but that's an absolute minimum. And then I might say something like, if you're going to pull out after 24 months, you're leaving millions or billions on the table. How dumb would that be? I might ultimately say, no, you don't get to withdraw your balance at all. I mean, it'll be an individual person type of thing. But you need to let that go, because the 5 or 10 year pace of what Bitcoin's going to do will outpace your deposit. I don't care how much you give me, right? Because guess what? You're going to get, conservatively, that money that you deposit in the Bitcoin pool is going to create a very conservative, I'm not going to leverage it, 70% drawdown, high margin level percent. We're not going to push it to make as much as it can. We're going to make a very conservative amount. And here's the deal. If the market is struggling, and let's say we have a $100,000 pool, and that $100,000 pool doesn't make any money that week, then there's no Bitcoin payout. But I can't imagine the market being that terrible, really. But what I'm saying is we're trading very conservatively, okay? This is going to fluctuate. Now, I'll put this last bullet point on here. There's zero involvement on your part. You simply amass anonymous Bitcoin weekly into your Bitcoin wallet, and the pool earns a profit. You're not going to monitor the account. I'm not going to promise a certain amount of return, because it doesn't matter, because you can't do that with Forex. We're going to do at least 1.7% a week. It doesn't matter. Forget what we're going to make, right? We're going to do this, because I got to be very specific with my words. We are going to amass anonymous Bitcoin weekly, end of story. You've seen what as little as $10 does. Now, I get that there's going to be questions. Let's open up the discussion. But at this point, I can tell you, I've given you everything. So when you deposit, you give me your deposit in Bitcoin. I put it into the pool, and I simply send you a Bitcoin deposit every week. I'm not going to let you know that I did it. We're not going to send emails back and forth. You're literally going to open up your wallet and go, oh, there it is. Oh, there's what we made this week. And it's not about what you made that week. I don't care if it's $10. You can't go, oh, I only made $10 this week. $10 over 10 years is $6.5 million. Come on, my friend. Think of the long term. Over 5 years, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's the idea. That's the concept. I get that there are going to be some massive overthinkers that are like, well, what about this and what about that? I'm telling you, you've got it all. This is what I'm doing. This is what I've been doing. Now, here's what's interesting. I'll deal with this one should ask question. Well, what happens if I am paying a monthly subscription and I'm trading? So keep trading. You could trade. You could do this. You don't need to be in my Bitcoin pool. I'm not trying to make money off of my Bitcoin pool. I'm going to take a little bit from it. What am I going to take? What's an average financial advisor take? 1 to 3%? But it's over the pool. Like, it's completely unnoticeable. Absolutely unnoticeable. The brass tacks of it all will be you to open up your Bitcoin wallet and go, oh, that's what we made this week. Cool. We're making money. More importantly, we're doing the long-term play and we're getting the yearly return on investment of, 100% plus if it's in Bitcoin. Now, you can go purchase my algorithm lifetime license, or you can pay the monthly subscription, and you could go amass Bitcoin, send it to yourself, immediately turn it into US dollars, and you can go invest in gold or the S&P 500 if you want. It's the same concept. It just takes longer to amass the kind of returns to gain. It just takes longer to gain the kind of returns that we're talking about you can with Bitcoin. I really don't care what the future holds. In my particular case, I'm all in. I'm betting the entire farm on this. What's the worst case scenario? I'm going to make a joke here. Don't get all crazy. What's the worst case scenario for me, Terry? I don't know. I'll go get a job at McDonald's, I guess, and kind of like work through my retirement. It's not going to happen, right? It's not going to happen. But my point is, this is so powerful, I'm banking everything I have on it. And I thought I might as well offer this to people. So if you're already trading my algorithm, go do this for yourself. Now you know what you don't know. You can ask questions in the group if you want to. If you'd like to just be completely hands-free, and here's the value of hands-free. No emotions. Off the radar, you don't have to have a broker account. You don't have to have a MetaTrader account. You don't have to monitor nothing. You don't have to wonder if some trade's holding on too long. You don't have to wonder if you've bid too much or bid too little or anything. This is zero involvement on your part. I put the money into the Bitcoin pool because guess what? Mine's in it. My money's in this too. This is what I'm doing. I'm putting it all in one account, and based off of your percent of deposit into what the overall trading is, I'll literally do a withdrawal each week and distribute the Bitcoin deposits. I mean, it doesn't take me that long. On the other side of it, why am I even offering this? Because I'm going to make a small percentage of the profits, maybe 1% more than I normally would make. But I'm already trading the account. I'm already doing it. I'm already doing this. I'm already doing a weekly withdrawal. Already doing it. So to click a button and send you whatever profits you earned for the week based off of your deposit to your Bitcoin wallet anonymously, wow. I can't believe that this was staring me in the face for so long. And I was kind of doing it. But if you look at the overall concept, everything I've shown you, this is, I'm going to say it, it's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen in my life. With this concept, I don't know about you, my friend, but I'm set for life. I am set for life. I'm already doing this. Why don't you surf off the back of it? Surf off the back of it. I'm already trading in this pool. I'm already trading over $100,000. Come on in. Whatever your pool deposit is simple spreadsheet mathematics for me. I type in the numbers and it shows me what each person is going to get Bitcoin that week. Of course, there's transfer fees for Bitcoin, a few dollars here, a few dollars there, whatever, it doesn't matter. You open up your wallet, and there's my weekly deposit. Open up my wallet, there's your weekly deposit. Awesome. Amassing Bitcoin anonymously. I'm going to stop it there. Now you know what you don't know. Now you know what you didn't know. I'm giving you an offer to jump in on something here, which is zero involvement on your part, and it's all upside for you. It's 100% all upside for you. You don't have to trade anything, so on and so forth. If you're currently trading and you want to stop trading, you want to put everything in the pool, do it. That's fine. There's no cost on that. Absolutely no cost on it. If you want to talk about cost, there's fees built into it, right? But it's not something you'll see. The reason I'm not leaning too much on that, well, it'll approximately be a 1.2% fee. Doesn't matter, because Forex does not produce consistent profits every week. It just produces profits. And if we have like a $100,000 account, aren't we getting a decent profit each week? The fact that you're amassing Bitcoin anonymously doesn't matter what the fee is. It's negligible. Just like people saying, we were in a trade the other day for a week or two. Wow, look at those swap fees. That's just part of doing business. It's all figured in. In the end, it's all net profit. You'd have to do all that stuff yourself. I'm not making any minimum, maximum guarantees. You're going to amass anonymous Bitcoin weekly in a conservative way based off of your pool deposit. That's it. I trade to not cut into pool deposits. If we have a $100,000 account, it's not $95,000 next week after I withdraw. We have a $100,000 account. We got a $10,000 profit. I pull out $10,000 and I distribute that conservative amount to the people in the pool at the pool deposit percentage level that they're at. But the fact that it's hands-free, you're not going to monitor the account. I'm not going to show you what the account's doing. Remember the word anonymous here. You're just going to get it. You're going to open your wallet, and there it is. You don't want to do that? Go do it by yourself. Go use my monthly subscription or my lifetime license and go do it. But this is the most powerful thing I've ever come up with. If I were to start over again, my entire Forex career would be just this. I would just put a pool together. I would trade my algorithm. Nobody would know what it was. Nobody would have to monitor the account. Wouldn't cost them anything. But here we are. And I think it's the most powerful thing I've ever seen and or ever showed with anyone. Let me know what you think. We'll talk about it in the group. I'm sure this will really open some eyes. I'm sure this will bring out the conspiracy theorists, the flat earthers. Oh my God, Terry, what if this? What if that? I'm not really going to deal too much with that because I'm just not that kind of person. I'm like, I need the best, highest rate of return investment. I need to dollar cost average with it. And I need to do it off the radar of having some bank account that people are hovering over and knowing what I got. You can hold $10 billion in crypto and not a person on this earth would know that you had it, and they probably shouldn't know you have it. So there's huge power in anonymity. And, you know, it's legal. We're not doing anything illegal. Of course, wherever you are, whatever jurisdiction you live in, whatever your morals are or aren't, you got to do it like you got to do it. You got to do your own due diligence. But now you know what you didn't know. So that's it. Appreciate you watching the video. We'll open up some more discussion for this consistently and moving forward. And it's not any harder than saying, hey, Terry, I'm going to get into the BTC pool, the FX to BTC pool. Here's my deposit amount. Thank you. And then you can watch your deposit each week. Okay? Cool. Simple. Doesn't get any more complex than that. That's it. I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you in the group.